Hey everybody, what's happening? This is Sammy the Thrifty Brewer coming at you, and happy Homebrew Wednesday for Wednesday, September the 25th of 2013. So cheers to everybody. Oh, it's a bitter, but it makes me feel very good. A little bit of my Sammy's Best Bitter that I kegged on the 22nd. Kegged on the 22nd? No, kegged on the 18th. What I did do though, I had a little bit left over, so I was actually able to put a bottle away. Right here. And I was actually able to carb it up with some half a teaspoon of dextrose. And it's carbon up nice. I mean, it's nice and firm. You know, like we like all of our bottles to be, and women. Bottles to be and women. Bottles to be and women. And lovely. It's carbon up a treat. I was also able to bottle up another 6 from the keg with my Thrifty Brewer bottling wand. Those of you who saw my video last week will know all about that. And those are great. Those are carved up nicely, nice and firm. So currently I've got 6 of the bitter, 6 of the IPA, or Green Bullet IPA, and 6 of my breakfast stout, which I'm actually working on building a cellar or a better storage spot for them. Mrs. Thrifty Brewer has no idea. I've basically just taken it upon myself to rearrange things to at least give me one shelf in there where I can put some brews to just sort of keep out of mind and just forget about. Because the idea is to at least get some brews saved and aged for a minimum of a year. Obviously they're just in PET bottles right now, so that won't happen. But the plans are, you know, the second week of October, I've got the okay to start brewing again, because I won't be doing any more brews until then, just based on budgetary constraints and whatnot. Yeah, we had a bit of a budget convo this morning, Mrs. Thrifty Brewer and myself. Went quite well, actually, but we did get our new stove, which is the main culprit for the reduction in brewing. Got the gas, natural gas hooked up to it yesterday, and it's brewing. It's working a real treat. So it's nice to have a stove and an oven again. So that's a very good plus. Another update. I want to give a huge shout out to Crazy Teddy Brooks. Crazy Ted, you know who you are, mate. For coming up with a new name for the kegerator. And the new name for the kegerator is Jezebel. So Lucille is still in the background here. I'm gotta take some time to get her up the stairs and get her outside. I don't know, maybe I'll make her in a fermentation chamber. I don't know, but that's going to take an awful lot of convincing to make her in a fermentation chamber. So for the time being, the plan is to get her up the stairs, out the door, and do the local landfill or metal recycling place. So again, Ted, my sincerest thanks for the idea and the name. Yeah, Jezebel. There you are. 15 minutes, mate. Now it's yours. I am going to be bottling my Cooper's Black IPA tonight. Now, is it a true Black IPA? I don't know, because I haven't sampled it in a while. I'll give you a rundown of the ingredients and then a price breakdown as well. It was a Cooper's IPA kit for $19. 5 kilograms of dark malt extract, and that was in the liquid form for $5. 500 grams of demerara sugar, which was free because I stole it from the wife's cupboard. She has no idea. But that's part of the grocery budget, so that's technically not counting with this. 280 grams of chocolate malt, that was $2. 2 ounces of Green Bullet hops, again $2. 2 ounces of Cascade hops, again $2. For a total of 30 bones. Out the door, taxes in. And what I did, measured 22 liters of water to the kettle, added my chocolate malt, steeped that to 170 degrees, pulled the chocolate malt out of the grains out, added my malt extract and sugar, gave it a really good stir, brought it up to the boil, and then I only did a 30-minute boil because I really wanted to hit my volumes on this, and it brought me to exactly 20 liters, which was perfect. That's what I was going for. Added 1 ounce of Green Bullet hops at 30 minutes. And then at the second hop addition, which was at 15 minutes, added the final 1 ounce of Green Bullet hops. 30 minutes, flame out, added the contents of the kit, Gave it a really good stir to incorporate it. Chilled it down again with my lovely immersion wort chiller. Immersion wort chiller. Again, thank you, Nick, for that lovely gift. Brought it down to 70.2 degrees. Starting gravity was 1.050, which is what I was shooting for. Final gravity, which I took on the 13th of the month, was 1.012, with a final ABV approximately about 5.1%. Then, on the 13th, I also added 2 ounces of Cascade hops for secondary, dry hop addition to the secondary after I racked it over. And then added gelatin on the 17th. Now, it has seemed to have cleared up nicely. Still a little bit of hop pellets on the top, that's normal. And then we're cruising on down, and then we hit the huge trub ring on the bottom. Now, the cool thing is I should be able to rack above that. And if not, if I get a little bit of gunk in there, you know, it is what it is. It's home brewing. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect, although we always strive for perfection. What else is going down? Going to be doing, like I said, second week of October, I'm going to try and do that Black Forest Stout, which I was chatting about earlier on in my previous videos. I want to give a thanks out to Justin Elder for his recommendation on increasing the lactose, which I am going to do, mate. It's going to be 1 pound of lactose. So it's going to be a Cooper Stout kit, 500 grams of dextrose, 500 grams of Demerara, 8 ounces of fancy molasses, 300 grams of quick oats, 4 ounces of cocoa nibs for secondary, and then 1 pound of cherries soaked in kirsch for another secondary addition as well. And like I said, the 1 pound of lactose will be a fermentable. So I'm going to do it the same way that I've been doing my last brews, just basically out of the brewing out of the can type of thing, and make them all fancy, happy, sexying them up. So hopefully this will work out. I'm a huge fan of dessert beers. So hopefully it really works out. In terms of what the Thrifty Brewer has coming down the pipe in terms of his projects, I touched base last week on my hop drying rack. Right now it's drying some peppers because I picked some more off the pepper plant. And it seems to be working out well. I got some that are going to get nice and shriveled up. You know, kind of like how we get in really cold water. Well, maybe not that bad. Maybe not that shrivelly. Reminds me of a bad episode of Seinfeld. The water was cold! The water was cold! Sorry, off topic. I touched on the bottling wand, or touched on the, you know, the hop rack, if you will. I'm going to be making a bottle drying rack. Now, I am not taking any credit for this whatsoever. I was just doing a quick Google search this morning at work and looking for some ideas for tonight's video, and found several guys who have made these up for super cheap, and I'm going to be doing it for $0. Using what I have around the house. So, this old piece of MDF, which is coated, going to clean it up obviously. Half inch, I believe. Pretty sure it's half inch, maybe 3/4. Basically, the idea is going to make this, drill some holes in it, put some legs on it, and that's going to be our bottle rack. Drying rack, I should say. And then the bottles are just going to sit inverted on there to dry, you know. I don't have a bottling tree. Idea maybe I'll do 12 or 36 bottles because I don't do a huge amount of bottling except if it's off the keg. But if I do get into a batch where I want to bottle it and age it, put it away, that'll be what I'll be using for that. So I will give you guys an update on that next week for sure. What else is there? That's really about it. The idea, again, behind Thrifty Brewer is, you know, just to pass along some information. That is stuff that we can do on the cheap. Because it's home brewing. It's a huge passion of mine. I love what I do, and I love sharing the information. And I decided, like I said last week, to give things a bit of a spin and pass along some information to you guys. So you'll see that up in the corner here, there's a little tab that says click to subscribe. I've been farting around with annotations on YouTube lately. I've added all of them, added subscribe annotations to all of my videos. Those of you who are not subscribed to my channel, please take the time to subscribe. I currently have 89 subscribers. I'd like to hit 100. I'd like to surpass that, obviously, and share some more information to you guys, although it may not always be useful, but every little bit helps as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to be, like I said, kegging the black IPA tonight. That'll be a hoot and a holler. I'll give you guys an update on that next week, as well as an update on the drying rack. So, once again, thank you so very much for taking the time to watch, for liking, subscribing, making comments. There's no such thing as a bad comment unless you're calling me a complete puffed out, which I am not. I'm happily married. And by all means, please tell everybody you know. Pass along the links. Like I said, I'd love to really increase my viewership and, you know, spread the fingers of the homebrewing community that little bit further, because that's what it's all about. It's about sharing, liking, and having a hell of a good time, because that's indeed what I am, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is Sammy, the Thrifty Brewer, saying thank you so very much for watching. Might need another. Maybe I don't. Thank you for taking the time to liking, subscribing, and thumbing up the videos. Huge help to me. Very much appreciated. And if you're going to do something, please do it with the homebrew. And by all means, keep calm and brew on, everybody. Take care, and thanks again. Cheers.